Welcome to the Only in Movies podcast. I'm your host, Anari, coming to you from Austin, Texas.
And I'm your host, Amato, coming to you from Buffalo, New York. And in this podcast, we break down scenes and discuss things that happen only in movies. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello, good people. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Only in Movies Pod. Find out what movie we'll be covering on our upcoming episodes, and also watch ahead and send us your suggestions for scenes that should make our Only in Movies list, and also for a chance for your suggestion to make it on the show.
And tell a friend to tell a friend. Make suggestions. Just say, hey, you listen to podcasts? No? Okay, but you should still listen to this podcast. It's really awesome and amazing. It should be your first. It'll take your podcast virginity, and they'll be gentle.
I don't know if we wouldn't go that far, but yes, please do tell a friend.
So this week's movie, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, directed by J.A. Bayona, starring Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Daniela Pineda, and Justice Smith. That's my guy. A little bit about the movie. 3 years after the destruction of the Jurassic World theme park, Owen Grady and Claire Dearing returned to the island of Isla Nublar to save the remaining dinosaurs from a volcano that's about to erupt. They soon encounter terrifying new breeds of gigantic dinosaurs while uncovering a conspiracy that threatens the entire planet. All right.
It's a very sinister description.
I saw this movie. This is the second time I saw this movie. This was a sinister movie, no?
Kind of.
Yeah, there was
silly
sinisterisms.
Sinister. This was my second time watching this as well.
I liked it better the first time.
Yeah, we agree that this is one of those movies where a second watch does not help it.
No. Budget was $300 million. It made $1.3 billion. So that's a come up.
That is why we will get a third one. I'm sure.
Third, yeah, because it's the third Jurassic World, but it's like the seventh or the sixth. It would be the sixth Jurassic movie, correct?
The third one will be the sixth one, yes.
Yes. Okay. Did you see the end credit scene?
Yes, I did. I was ready
second. I was ready to talk shit about you. I was super prepared because you mentioned that there'd be a sequel, and the end credit scene obviously sets it up for a sequel. It's not a spoiler or anything, really.
No, it's just dinosaurs out in the world. They can take that pretty much anywhere. So were you a Jurassic Park fan?
I was gonna say the same. So I actually read the Jurassic Park book before I saw the movie. It was one of the only books I was allowed to ever get from Scholastic. Because, you're always going to be like, I'm ordering all of these Scholastic books. And then you don't get any. I actually got that book from a Scholastic fair. And I read it. And the book is way better than the movie. But that's always the case. Just because the book has a better ending than the movie and all of that stuff. But then I saw the movie, loved it. So I actually saw Lost World. That was probably like one of my first alone dates with a girl. I remember going to see it like Memorial Day weekend.
That's a good date movie.
I thought the movie theater would be empty.
Oh, it's not good in that regard. It's a good date movie. I'm thinking the chick will be scared.
That was a good movie. I was 14. No, what year was that? Shit, I had it written down. I thought
like 97.
97. So I was probably like 16, 17. So I didn't know no better. It's fine. Good movie. Saw it. Jurassic Park 3. I can't even remember. And then I enjoyed the first Jurassic World. It was okay. Again, it wasn't the most amazing movie. What about you?
Yeah, the first one, I thought it was okay as well, too. It didn't make me want to watch the second one. I watched the first one in the movies, and it didn't make me want to watch the second one in the movies, so I didn't.
What about Jurassic Park?
Oh, Jurassic Park, I was definitely a huge fan of. The first one I watched, and I was in DR still. Dominican Republic, when it came out. It was dope. It was obviously a worldwide phenomenon when it did come out. That famous scene of the
T-Rex stomping.
T-Rex, on the car. That scene is like burned into my memory. I remember that scene like it was yesterday, just watching the vibrations on the water, on the footprint, and then watching the T-Rex finally come up. That scene along with also the toilet ripping scene.
And the raptors, when we're introduced to raptors. Yeah. Did you ever read the book, though? It's a really, really, really good book.
No, I never read it.
And I loved dinosaurs as a kid, so it was excellent.
As a kid? I still love dinosaurs.
I don't know if I still love dinosaurs.
Dinosaur gang over here.
I did. So speaking of, this movie was done by Legendary, who does the whole Godzilla Monsterverse, who did the new Kong movie, the Godzilla King of the Monsters, and the Kong versus Godzilla movie coming. So I'm a fan of Godzilla. I guess that's a dinosaur, but that's different. He's Godzilla. And Ghidorah.
That's a stretch.
And Ghidorah is not a dinosaur either. What dinosaur has 3 heads?
No, those are not dinosaurs. They're from another planet, aren't they?
Well, no, Godzilla was made because of the nuclear test back in the days when they would do a nuclear test off the island of Japan. Yeah,
That's the origin story. Oh, so never mind.
That's nuclear power.
Still not a dinosaur though.
Shut up.
Well, yeah, I was a huge fan of the series. Never read the book. I was sad when I heard that they were rebooting it because I thought another thing they might ruin. But they actually didn't do a terrible job, and it's a different premise.
Yeah, I don't think they ruined it. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, definitely. They definitely didn't.
No, I wouldn't say they ruined it. No. So since you weren't, I guess, as a kid, what was your favorite dinosaur?
Okay, so
Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
well, yes. First off, I had to find the dinosaur that started with an A because my name started with an A. So it was the Ankylosaurus. Which was in this movie, and I was like, "Oh snap, an Ankylosaurus!"
That's the one with all the shell.
The shell. That's I think that's the first one they actually sell in the auction. He's either the first or the second one they sell in the auction. So Ankylosaurus was one of my favorites, and then obviously everybody loved raptors when they came out. They were like the most awesome, coolest dinosaurs. A T-Rex is a T-Rex.
when they came out when they were released.
Well, the
original release.
So in school, we learned about like T-Rexes, the Stegosauruses, the pterodactyls, and brontosauruses. Not even really Ankylosauruses. They never told us about raptors that I would remember. And then Jurassic Park came out.
What about them?
Oh, you was like all That's up true. In the dinosaurs?
No. Well, our age difference would account for that. So by the time I came around, raptors were all the craze.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Right. They weren't really a big deal when I was
You got the whack-ass dinosaurs now.
A T-Rex still... No, the raptors still don't want it with the T-Rex.
Yeah. I mean, I say whack dinosaurs as a joke because Brontosaurus was my favorite.
Oh, really? Brontosaurus he's a cool ass dinosaur. He just, in my mind, he's just chilling. Yeah. He's like the pothead dinosaur.
Yeah, he's like, how's it going? I'm just passing through here. That's what that's the voice that I imagine.
He's also a big dude. Like, you really gotta want to beef with him if you want to beef with him. Like, you're not just gonna bother him for no reason.
He's like that guy. Like he's very nice and soft, but he'll kill you. So
my homeboy has a bull mastiff, and it's the nicest dog I've ever encountered. But I know that if at any moment I pissed it off to a level it didn't like, it was a wrap for me.
Yeah,
it had all the power.
He was a dom.
and will always be.
All right. So let's go ahead and then start our only in movies scenes. And Mara, do you want to give the listeners a little breakdown of what that is?
Yeah, so the only in movie scenes are just scenes that, as we watched this movie, we thought this could only happen in movies. This is not realistic. That's not even good planning. Who thought this up? And this movie for me was like chock full of them. I had to really like cut down and decide like I have like 7 to be honest, but I'm gonna pare it down to 3, and then I have a bunch of come on fans, and we'll talk about what those are a little later. So your first scene?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some overlap as well, so I'm sure that'll cut down on some of our.
I don't know. There's a lot of shit.
That's true. It is completely possible that we get all original scenes, and still have some left over. Right. So I'll get into my first scene, and that's when Ken, who's the hunter, or he's like the gatherer of all the dinosaurs in charge,
Wheatley.
With bringing
I have
them back.
him as Wheatley.
Yeah. Ken Wheatley, played by Ted Levine. They find Blue, the raptor that's particularly smart and was trained previously by Owen. His goons surround the raptor with guns, even though they can't shoot it, and no one seems to have brought a net or any way of capturing the damn thing. And then they try a dart gun to shoot at it, knowing that this is one of the smartest,
the second
species out there. The second smartest, right?
So
humans are supposed to be first, I guess.
So based on this movie, if humans were second, he was way smarter than all the humans he encountered throughout the movie. So I was bad confused when they said second, but that's fine. So yes, we have overlap because this was one of my scenes.
Okay.
For the lack of preparation as well, but also he said, wait for my signal. He knows that dinosaur better than anybody literally on the planet. So why not listen to him?
It's not like he's doing a bad job at this point. He was doing a great job. Like, the thing was tame, it was coming, and it's like, let me fuck this whole shit up. So they try a dart gun, and it pisses it off. And naturally, Blue attacks someone. And I love how when the dude's getting eaten by the raptor, the hunter guy goes, "Don't shoot her." Right, I was like, fuck that. Right. All right. You think I'm listening right now? Oh, please preserve the animal.
Right. No, this has my
his whole
face.
Entire claw on his face. And then I thought it was ridiculous that they shot it twice with the tranquilizer and, not very effective. And then he shoots it once with a handgun and it just like faints. I didn't understand the consistency there. So one bullet is too much, but 2 darts that can kill her, according to the doctor lady, was fine.
Well, I guess breaking flesh and all of that stuff versus a trank.
It got the vapors. It just, the way it passed out, it was like, oh.
Like Will Smith in church.
Yeah, I had a hanky in the hand and everything.
So little before that scene, right? They're driving in the convoy, and Zia's like, I have to see this. Wheatley says the area is not secure. She jumps out of the convoy, stands there looking. Everybody just stands there and looks with her. After he explained that it's not secure.
They had a whole gate system. They had armored vehicles. They had a whole plan, and they all just stand there looking at their pretty dinosaur. So I was like, what?
He didn't even try to slow her down.
They invested so much to be safe.
Franklin had to get them together.
It's like when you're driving by, they go, don't pull over, and then you pull over, and then the entire family gets out of the car. You just lost 15 minutes right there.
But then right after that, Franklin can disarm the doors with like no issue. Like it took him 10 seconds to get the doors.
Yeah, he knew the whole system.
That was pushing it for me.
Can you bring the system up? Like, yes. What system? I'll figure it out when I get there, I guess.
Yeah, so that I agree. That scene was a complete mess. But like, it wasn't just your scene. It was all the scenes leading up to it were like, oh, this is just going to be a mess party.
Yeah, we would discuss how on first watch, like we said, the movie wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't a bad movie. But on second watch, you start noticing all the little details.
Our first watch was also before we started doing this podcast. So again, we look at it kind of different too.
Yeah, we definitely have a different eye.
I probably wouldn't have cared about them standing outside the vehicle the first time. But this time I was like, no, this is egregious. How dare they?
Like, leave, dummy. Yeah. After all the movies we've discussed, we got no fucking time for people wasting time.
My first scene is pretty much the first scene in the movie. They are trying to close the gate. And there's the Marine there, and they're screaming at him to close the gate. But he has a headset on. So why didn't somebody call him on the radio to tell him to close the gate? They're screaming at him with helicopters, dinosaurs, all types of shit going on.
And they're pointing at him. And his dumb ass still has the headset on. He's like, I can't hear you because my ear's covered. Do you see how it's covered?
But he probably is also saying to them, hey, we have headsets, right? So why aren't we using the means of communication that we were provided to communicate with one another?
Yeah. Even before that, they have supposed water gates that are closing to keep the dinosaurs locked in. And apparently it only operates while connected to a tablet. Because as soon as he drops it, it just cancels whatever it was doing. Was he holding a button or something? I don't understand. He was holding the close button the whole time, just waiting. Oh, yeah. This is a mess.
That dinosaur. I don't know what dinosaur that is. The water dinosaur. That's a beast.
I call it the Meg in my notes.
That's the Meg. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. So that's my scene.
All right, yeah. So speaking of earlier scenes, would you save the dinosaurs or no? Because that was how the movie started with that conundrum.
I don't know. You
gotta think about it.
For him, so I don't know.
I thought it was interesting. I'm like, huh? So wipe out.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah,
so
wipe out the species or save them and deal with having to relocate them and all the potential issues that will come with that shit.
I have some issues as we're going to discuss as we go, but yes, I agree. And yeah, it's a hard decision because they're resilient. So they're a resilient life form because they were bred not to reproduce.
And they found a way.
Because they were bred with frog DNA, they were able to. Are you aware of that whole background?
Yeah, they were able to mutate their DNA and
because frogs can change sexes to basically keep the species alive.
Yep. Not enough females.
They're gonna
make more females.
They're gonna multiply. You can't even avoid that. So yeah, I don't know. At the end of the movie, I probably would have saved them because I couldn't have stood there and watched them all be poisoned. Yeah, that would have been a lot for me. But if they exploded on a volcano island, I probably would be like, oh,
well, it's over there.
Island. Yeah.
Yes. Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, I feel that.
But to hear them like screech and scream in the same like room as me, I would have opened that door immediately.
Make it stop. Yeah.
Yeah. No. No. That was heavy.
That would be a good one. It'd be like, well, if you want to, like most things with politicians, well, if you want to do this, you have to go over there and actually watch them die. Or
right. right.
Yeah. Like, I don't know about that.
Well, speaking
anymore.
of, because I thought that was like the end when the Brontosaurus is at the edge of the island and the island's exploding.
That was sad as fuck, man.
A, it was sad as fuck. B, it was like Act 1 is over.
Yeah, this movie had a couple of things that were like that.
And I was like, wow, that was completely... it felt like, not cartoonish, but it felt just like, I don't know, the way the screen wiped and everything. It was like, I don't know. I can't even describe it.
It was a little too cinematic. It was...
Yeah, they were pushing it. They were
trying to milk it. And
yeah,
it was sad on its own, but then the fade away, it was like, it seems like an odd place to fade away as they're floating away in an enemy ship.
Yeah, and it fades away to shows Mills, who's like, since you brought up a question, I'm going to ask a question. When's the first time you heard of an ELE?
Of a what?
An ELE, an extinction level event?
Oh, the first time I heard of that actually was with the movie Deep Impact.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Oh,
yeah, that's the first time I ever heard of extinction level event. Yes,
and I think that sparked my interest in big explosions and disaster movies. And
that
all
was
that
a damn
shit.
good movie. That was a damn good movie.
Yeah, Deep Impact was one of my favorites. It didn't age too well when you go back, but it's still, in terms of the disaster movies, it's up there in the list. Yeah. So my next scene is when Franklin and Claire are in a room with the raptor-looking dinosaur. After they feel all the earthquakes and the island's going to shit, they're kind of trapped in this little room with the dinosaur, and lava's falling through, making a little bit of a divide. And they take the longest time backing up away from the dinosaur and aren't even looking for a way out. It took them like 10 seconds of backing away from the dinosaur before they think, hey, maybe I should try to find a way out of here because I'm going to hit a wall eventually and this fucking dinosaur is not that far away. They're backing up slowly. They find some staircases and they get away. But then Franklin drops down accidentally because the staircase was stuck. And I hate the fucking slow over the shoulder turns.
Look back.
In most movies. Oh,
he
my
looks
God.
back. It wastes time. I know it's behind me. I don't need to look back to see it.
Where the fuck else is it going to be? Like even if it was on the other side, still in a safe space, I don't need to acknowledge that. I need to get the fuck up those stairs.
I don't need to know exactly where you are as long as you're not touching me. I'm out. I'm going.
And then they see Owen running down the hill and he's yelling, run. And I heard it pretty well. And then he says it again, run. And then he starts almost running past them. And then the kicks in, oh yeah, maybe we should run. I was like, they need some pep in their step.
They stopped to watch the Dino Rumble. There was like a big dinosaur fight before. So they stopped to watch the Dino Rumble. So if you saw two dinosaurs fighting, you might not run.
I'll be like, Owen is not watching the dinosaurs fight. All right,
but he's seen dinosaurs do tons of stuff before.
I guess that's true. You mean like there'll be like an awe? Well, she shouldn't be. Like, she should be. She ran apart. Franklin, I understand. He should be in awe. But then again, he was the biggest bitch ever in this movie, right. So he should be
running.
Probably the first one on the hill. Right. So that whole scene was just like they're not really trying to keep themselves alive very hard.
So my next scene is actually a little right after that. We didn't rehearse this, people. So first off, they stand by the pod for like 15 minutes and talk.
The nice and fresh pod, by the way. Yeah. How is this pod so fucking sparkly?
But they stand by it for 15 minutes and talk instead of just jumping in it and going. Then the dinosaurs start drowning, and that shit was really, really sad too. That was super sad.
Yeah.
So then they're under the water. And Franklin, who's the king of the obvious, goes, water's leaking. Like nobody noticed.
We're running out of air. Thanks.
So then, if something's leaking, what's the last thing you want to do? Put more holes into it.
Make a hole, yeah.
So Owen takes his gun out underwater, not being familiar with how, velocity and all those things work underwater.
And pressure.
Puts 2 holes right into the glass. So they drown faster. Fucking brilliant. Save the day.
He had a plan, but it was a little fucked up with the debris falling.
What was his plan? The 2 shots was his first plan. That did not work.
Well, he would have kept shooting, I think, but the gun got knocked out of his hand.
You think what if he kept shooting? He just gonna create more holes. I don't think that's gonna shatter
more
it.
holes?
Yeah,
he was trying to make a formation so he could punch through. I don't know, man.
I don't think that's just gonna shatter it.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I'm like, he's gonna shoot enough to try to.
That's really
slow underwater punch it.
Yeah.
It's a stretch.
I thought he was trying to hit it so it would shatter.
He should have led with the knife.
Right. Exactly. 100%. That was it. And then right after, she's like, this is all a lie. And I'm like, this chick is fucking slow. What was like an hour into the movie, you just realizing you've been hoodwinked?
Yeah, that scene was interesting because I felt like they have one of those running down the hill dinosaur stampede
in every movie,
scenes in every Jurassic Park movie.
I think there's a couple of things that they have in every Jurassic Park movie. That's one of them. The T-Rex doing something to something, eating something or somebody or something is going to happen.
Having a dinosaur
a raptor running
above you while you're hiding.
Yep, a raptor running down on you. Every movie.
Yeah, it's like a recipe. This is how you start a Jurassic Park movie. Throw all the elements in a bucket, and then you start picking.
So, real quick, Justice Smith. That's my guy. Have you ever seen The Get Down?
No. I was supposed to watch it.
This podcast is over.
From your recommendation,
this podcast
actually.
is done.
From your recommendation, I was about to say it, and I never got to it. Oh, shit.
He's actually the star of The Get Down. Did you know that?
Yeah, I never got around to watching it. I remember him from there. All right, so you like Justice.
So anyway, well, first off, Get Down is something that every hip-hop fan should watch. I enjoyed it. Some people didn't love it. I loved it. I binged it, and I'm not a binger, and I loved it. So I just wanted to give Justice a shout-out. And another one, Chris Pratt he got some good-ass franchises. He's like the I got lucky guy. He's in some great franchises.
Yeah, coming from fucking Parks and Rec as the dummy, he really springboarded from there.
Jurassic Park, Guardians of the Galaxies, and relatably the Avengers.
Yeah,
you're good. Yeah, you don't have to really. You never have to make another fucking movie
on top of all the other ones too.
Yeah, like but those 3 franchises. Yeah, but those 3 franchises, your residuals would be. You'd be good.
You probably set for life off of those.
Yeah. all 3 of them. Well. I don't know how much Guardians has made. Guardians combined has made over $1 billion. So all 3 of them have made over $1 billion.
Yeah, and then you also have, like I said, he was in Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence. That was another big one. He was also in the The Magnificent Seven, and that one wasn't as big, but it's still a big cast.
Yeah,
his glow up was crazy,
real. Yeah, like the only thing he's not in is Fast and Furious.
Yes. And just wait, all right? Because now you have the Hobbs and Shaw branch off. Anything can happen. So yeah, I didn't have another full scene. I just had a bunch of come on fans and funny stuff.
Okay, this one to me was the most glaring. I just didn't. It just was like what this podcast was made for. So Mills goes to kill Lockwood. Mills is the executive of the state. Lockwood is the old man whose estate this is. Right. First off, he suffocates him with a pillow. If they do an autopsy, they're gonna know he didn't die of natural causes. He was murdered.
He was asphyxiated.
Yeah, he died of asphyxiation. They won't think, oh well, he naturally caused. So what was his plans? Was he hoping that they just thought he died of natural causes?
They were gonna skip the autopsy. Maybe he's Jewish
because he was the only family. And then what confused me? So that whole. Well, I didn't really get his plan, his long-term plan, because now he's a murderer, flat out. He murdered a man. Then when he tells the nanny that Macy he's now Macy's guardian, I was like, wait, how does that work? You run the company. You run the company. That doesn't mean you get the children. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. I don't know. Maybe I didn't understand it and I misunderstood it. I don't know custody laws in the state that they were in.
Well, she's a clone, so she's off the books. So that's kind of what he's saying. She has no receipt, so
I'll take that. Show me her birth certificate.
They got the serial scratched off, so you can keep that.
But he's rich enough to have had a birth certificate made for her. He's rich enough to have had her whole birth be as legit as it
he
could
wanted
be.
it to. But he's also rich enough that he didn't need to do any of that shit. He could just keep her in his mansion,
right, and be chilling. That's true. Mills as a whole, as a character, was just a poor planner. He didn't have a really great long-term plan. He didn't know what the fuck was going on a lot of the time.
He was a schemer, I would say. He was trying schemes. He had certain schemes he had lined up, and but you could tell that he was desperate because whenever he saw a little bit of money, he would just abandon the plan. Yeah,
well, he was a 3-card Monte dealer. Yeah. He was just trying to get that next dollar as quick as possible,
and then fucking knock the table over when the cops come and run. Get the fuck out of there.
And then with that scene too, did he think that Lockwood wasn't going to notice all these people coming? I know he has a big estate, but there's just cars and people all over the place. Yeah. Like he was having a fucking house party.
It wasn't exactly low, no.
No, it wasn't low at all. They weren't coming in through back entrances. They were losing the main driveway.
Headlights all
these
on and shit.
Standing out front. Yeah, like this was like his plan was trash.
He was like, "Nah, I'm just having a party."
Now we're gonna go into our Come On Fam scenes. Come On Fam scenes are where we're just like, "Hey, come on, fam, what's going on here?" This is just
silly,
logical,
just silly.
So I'm gonna jump into mine first. My Come On Fam was, you have the Indominus Rex, right? He destroyed the entire island.
Yep.
Why make a new, more dangerous animal that probably can follow human commands?
It's not ideal.
Like, of all the things you can make, like, I understand you would want to, just to me, even like mixing a T-Rex and a raptor is like, I'm good. I don't need to just keep creating things that are just gonna ultimately probably kill me.
It's like, why are you fucking with the natural order of things? All right, there goes the 3-car Monte dealer again. He's just trying to get the next come up.
Yeah,
he can get good money off the other stuff, but no, he wants to get all the money. Like Jeff Goldblum, which is, by the way, another sighting.
My guy.
As he says in The Avarice of Man. It comes back again. Look at that. Another also reference.
That term. Yeah, I actually wrote that down. Yeah. I was like, oh, wow. Avarice and megalomania. That's what this movie was about.
Yeah. All right. So my one of my Come On Fams is when they're running down the hill, which I just mentioned, they're all running away from the exploding, well, two things, the exploding volcano and also the stampede of dinosaurs. Chris Pratt gets like engulfed in the fucking ash and smoke from a volcano, and he comes out of it and he's just chilling. I was like, "What's like?" I didn't catch that like that the first time. Like he was engulfed by it. His ass would have been crispy. Like
yeah. He'd have been caked in it.
Yeah. I was like, "Have you seen fucking Pompeii?" I was like,
right,
yeah.
Right. If he could breathe,
right.
So one of my Come On Fams was they needed to get Blue back in good health. Yep. Right? No one checked on Blue the entire trip from the island to the mansion. They didn't go, "Hey, how's it going? Do you need anything? You need some blood, a transfusion, or anything?" They were just like, "Fuck it. She knows what she's doing. She'll make it work."
Yeah, that was the prize Dino, and nobody seemed to care what was going on with Dino the whole time. So my other Come On Fan was right after that scene too, when they're running away from the exploding volcano. They get in a truck and they drive off that ramp. They drive a whole ass truck and no one noticed that it just landed on the boat and parked. Everyone else had left
Nobody
already.
Even heard it.
Like it was like nobody like even batted an eyelash. And then she just puts on a hat and that's it. Like she's supposed to just blend in. I was like, what?
And then Act 1 ended, and you weren't supposed to pay attention. That story was over. Why are you still talking about it? Yeah. Stop living in the past. So I thought it was really funny. And I actually have that written down. No one notices. So when Zia is like, "I'm a paleo veterinarian, but I've never seen a dinosaur." How the fuck do you get these credentials then? Like, what? Like, if somebody tells me I'm a doctor, but I've never actually worked on a human before, I'm going to be a little concerned and probably not going to let them work on me. Or if I go to a vet, he said, "I'm a vet, never actually seen a dog." But fuck it, you know.
Probably not my top choice for Coco. Yeah, no. It's like, you take care of dogs? Like, in theory. Like,
no, but I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express.
I thought that when they were doing the auction and it all goes to shit, that Wheatley comes back and he sedates or thinks that he sedates the...
So this is exactly literally what I was about to go into. That was literally my next thing.
Yeah, he thinks he sedated what was the name of it?
Indoraptor.
Yeah, the Indoraptor. And he goes all the way inside the cage. Why? Why would you do that?
And closes the door.
Like it closed behind him, and he didn't seem concerned at all. I would have been, oh.
No, I thought he pulled. No, he pulled it.
Oh, he pulled the door? I thought that just like happened to close
I'm pretty
shut.
sure he pulled the door.
If
closed.
he pulled it, then even worse. All right.
Yeah, I think you can confirm that, listeners, but I'm pretty sure he pulled it closed. And then he gets on top of it, or not on top of it, but then he puts his fucking stupid thing in its mouth and tries to steal his teeth. After you saw all that shit happen, that's your plan,
right? First of all, he the only reason he went back
was to get his bonus.
Yeah, he went to get his bonus, and he gets distracted by some fucking teeth for his necklace. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! So he does all that, and then you have the chick in the elevator when she gets pushed out of the way by the auctioneer.
Yeah,
she just screams. I was like, oh my God, why? I would have pushed her out of the elevator. I would have been like,
but why would the auctioneer push her into the light? Why he didn't have to do that? He could have just pushed her a little bit over. He could have pushed her a little bit over and did what he needed to do. Because honestly, if you're thrown into that situation, you would try not to scream, but you don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. You've never seen one of those in your entire life, and it's eating someone.
No, but she was pretty composed the whole time when she was hiding there, and all of a sudden she just lost.
But they didn't know. She didn't. I don't think she knew the Indoraptor was loose, because the Indoraptor wasn't loose until that point.
Oh, that's a good point. That's true. She was just hiding.
Yeah, they were just hiding from all the other dinosaurs, but that stupid idiot opened the Indoraptor's cage.
Well, I know what she didn't do with help her case. All right.
Well, I can't argue with you. Yeah. Another thing, this movie was like chock full of jump scares.
Yeah, it tried it, but it never set up that much tension for that to work.
No, they weren't good jump scares, but they were jump scares. Okay, so mine is Owen Casey Massey running from the Indoraptor, and they're behind the statue, and he goes to reach for the gun, and she stops him.
Yeah, that was so annoying.
And in my mind, he had more than enough time to get the gun and get back and be good.
Yeah, that reminds me of like a situation where you're about to, you might get into a tussle with a guy, and then there's your girlfriend trying to stop you. And she holds you back. Oh my God! Is there a worse thing?
I actually, at a party once, there was a fight at a party once, and one of our friends, our mutual friends, went to hold one of our other mutual friends back instead of the other people. And
yeah,
it kind of led to a similar situation.
I've been there before. Yeah. And that's what that reminded me of. I was like, why?
Yeah. Then, after they go through and the Indoraptor gets on the roof, I thought the music was I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh,
he's on the roof and he's growling. The music was horrible. They were like, it was very like, tried to be like super scory and big, and it was just doing too much for me.
I didn't notice that.
Well, and then right after that, Macy's in her room.
That's my next scene.
She didn't try to escape at all. She waited for the thing to run up on her.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But I thought the fact that the raptor couldn't find Owen and them chilling right under the museum exhibition.
Yeah.
But then it can track fucking Macy across like water and roof and rain and all this shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on over here?
So that confused me too, because his sniffing skills were
all over the place.
Yeah, they weren't consistent.
Another area where it didn't really remain consistent is that it was super aggressive when it sees everyone else throughout the movie and attacks. And then
when Macy would try to like love her,
it was like creeping and shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was like, who's here? It was like odd. He had like a single claw and shit. I was like, is he gonna like pull back her blanket slowly to just turn to a horror movie all of a sudden?
So any more come on fams?
No, that was my last one.
So I just got a couple funny things. So one of my funny things was they couldn't have afforded a better plane to get to Jurassic World. They had like the cheapest, most broke down plane ever to get there.
Yeah, I like the guy's line. Would you ride a 1,000-pound horse that's been abused all his life? That was hilarious. I was dying. He goes, we're not compatible.
And they're going to an active volcano. They are literally going to an active volcano.
Yeah, like you said, the entire scenario was not exact something that I would get behind.
Are you familiar with the country of Montserrat?
No.
It's a country in the Caribbean, and they actually have an active volcano in the country.
On the island. Where they filmed this?
No. No, but that's the only actually. I know people from there. That's the only interaction with an actual active volcano I've ever heard of.
Oh, okay. I was in Costa Rica. I think they have an active volcano.
See, I don't know.
I didn't go to it. Because that's not my kind of shit.
Right? That's not the things you're into. He's like, I'll zip line. But a volcano, that's the line.
I don't need that in my life, Something I found funny was that Blue gets let out to eat the bad guys by Zia and Franklin. And she's chomping on one of the bad guys. And then another one comes up behind him to, I guess, help with a machine gun. And he walks up to the dinosaur. And of course, he gets got. Right. I mean, did he plan on stabbing it with the gun? I didn't understand.
He was going to pistol whip it. He's going to just be pissed off.
Yeah. I was watching this movie with Liz. And Liz was like, why the fuck did he shoot it from back there? I was like, thank you.
Because that would have ended the movie really quick. Yeah. I thought it was funny. She had one of those little elevators, those little food elevators.
Yeah.
I always wanted those. And then I thought to myself, those are made to carry food up and down. Can it really hold the weight of a child? Like, there has to be like a limit. And she was not like a little kid.
No.
And then they're made to hold like plates and fucking cups and shit. So I always wanted one of those though. But I lived in an apartment, so it wasn't really going to take me nowhere.
You were passing your neighbor's shit up and down. Yeah. All right.
And Macy's a locksmith and Daredevil.
Yeah, she gives zero fucks. This is my second life, bitch. I got no regrets. Right. I thought the other scene when they were on top of the roof that you mentioned with the Endoraptor and Blue, they tried to knock down the Endoraptor and it almost fell. And it was like, you thought. And they came back up. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Even now, so watching it the second time, I was certain that it was going to fall. And then I was like, oh, no,
right. Yeah. Right. So right before that, when they're in the museum and the lights come back on, the lights start coming back on way far ahead of time. They stand there and wait for the lights to come back on in the particular exhibit they're in and just look out.
They just freeze. Like,
yeah, like that shit was maybe so they can't
see us. I was like, why the fuck wouldn't you hit the ground or like get some cover? As soon as you see it coming towards you, like shit.
There's middle sections between each of those freaking exhibits. Just stand there.
Yeah, like yeah, it was a fucking mess. This movie had a lot of like looking and waiting to see what happens.
Right. Like with Mills under the car at the end of the movie where he's hiding under the car. That was just ridiculous to me. That was like, come on, fam. Dinosaurs are what kind of car is this? Dinosaurs are stepping on it and he's not getting crushed.
It had really good suspension model.
I guess.
Volvo, get you one.
I'm a Toyota guy, but if Volvo wants to sponsor the podcast.
I was about to say this episode is not sponsored by Volvo.
Or Toyota, but it can be.
We're doing reverse advertisements where we tell you who's not sponsoring us. Nike is not sponsoring this podcast,
but they can.
Neither is Apple.
Send me some kicks. I don't want no Apple shit unless it's real free.
Unless it's free.
It got to be extra free. I don't want no strings attached. I'll take some strings with some Nikes.
So and I guess it wasn't a funny scene if you think about it, but I was like, they're just gonna watch the dinos die? I was like, they don't have to.
Like, when they were getting poisoned?
There. Yeah, I was like, you don't have to like make
that's what we were talking about before, yeah. Oh, you mean they could have just left?
Yeah. Like, why are you standing there, you fucking weirdos? It's like, gather around, kids, let's watch these guys suffocate. It's like, what the fuck? He like goes to hug her and shit. I was like, leave.
So they let the dinosaurs out. What was your first thought?
I was like, well, they fucked.
My first thought was the food chain is fucked. Like they're gonna rewrite the entire food chain.
So my first thought, actually, when they were still thinking about pressing the button, was actually about Rush Hour. Push the button. But before that, I was thinking, okay, you're gonna save the dinosaurs, but you have to be aware that hundreds of people might die because of this, if not
thousands. Yeah, like you don't know.
Yeah, right.
Millions. You don't know.
So what kind of like rationalization are you having in your mind now between like how many people are gonna die and saving like what 11 dinosaurs or however many it was?
Right. There was 11 species, so there might have been more than one of a species.
Oh, that's true. If it wasn't the Noah's Ark method, might have been one of each. I don't think the negative repercussions were going to outweigh the benefit, but I mean, they're already fucking there, I guess, you know? They already took them out of the habitat, so might as well, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's not that easy to just justify.
No,
it's actually gonna be like, really difficult to justify. It's really, really
and the girl was just like, they wanted my people.
Yeah, right, exactly. She didn't have no skin in the game.
That was already dead. Good luck, bitches.
I thought it was funny that when Owen rushes into the auction, everybody's fighting him one-on-one. There's no rules, guys. Why are y'all coming at him one-on-one? Your security. That's your fucking job, is to rat
for
pack
honor.
Stomp him out, send him about his fucking business.
Nah, man, that's too easy. You can't really properly display their technique, all right? If you're crowded. Don't crowd me, bro. All right, so let's get into our overall review. You want to go ahead and lead us?
Again, this was my second time seeing this movie. If I would have had to give it a review after the first time, the review would have been higher. So I have to take that into consideration. Because if I was just... most people aren't going to watch it twice. So it was a good movie. There was a good amount of action. There were things you didn't really know what. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't think they were gonna let dinosaurs die on the island. That was super sad. I knew they weren't gonna let them all get poisoned at the end. There was no way they were all gonna let them. We were gonna sit there and watch a snuff flick for mad dinosaurs at the end. I didn't really think that was a possibility.
Although a lot of them died.
Because some drowned in the earlier scenes. So a good amount did die.
Burned.
It was rough. Yeah,
it was not a good day for
I'm
dinos.
sure some of them had to die from the poisoning. Some of them had to because it was just poison. I like Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt he plays the same character in this movie that he's gonna play.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Star-Lord.
Yeah, it's Chris Pratt. Yeah. He's like the lovable, fuck up, really, really good guy who can save things.
A bad boy, good guy.
Everybody else did a respectable job. There weren't any like amazing acting clinics put on in this movie. Wasn't expecting it though, because again, it's just a Jurassic Park movie. I love the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were all cool. They had some really, really cool dinosaurs. The way they rendered them, the visual. Isla Nebula was a dope visual.
Yeah, the explosions and all that was dope. The volcano exploding.
But other than that, yeah, if I would definitely say see it once if you're a Jurassic Park fan. If you're not, don't even waste your time. But if you're a Jurassic Park fan, I definitely would see it once.
Yeah, if you're not into dinosaurs or Jurassic
or
Park,
Chris Pratt,
not your movie,
or like any of that stuff. like
you can go ahead and skip this. So yeah, I thought it was definitely enjoyable to watch once. Not much replay value, in my opinion. Second watch, not as enjoyable, but that's okay. It wasn't super predictable, I'll give it that. For like these big blockbusters sometimes, especially the ones that are like reboots and stuff, it's usually pretty easy to see what's going to happen.
I definitely didn't think the island would be destroyed halfway through the movie. I thought that was going to take us straight to the end.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. The plot wasn't exactly complex, but it did change, I guess, the scenery drastically. I thought most of it was going to happen on the island. But overall, the acting was a little bit over the top in parts. You know, we talked about, for example, Justice, for his character Franklin. He had a lot of funny scenes, but then a lot of other ones were like extra. But yeah, I think it was still an enjoyable movie. The humor was definitely present. It has some nostalgia, and I think it did good at referencing the older movies as well. You know, Jeff Goldblum being there, and the callbacks to like the other.
I did think there were a lot of cool callbacks. That when she found the amber.
Yeah,
there was a lot of little things that were pretty cool.
So it's good. Like I said, for a Jurassic Park fan, this movie is not bad at all. I don't know. Again, the same way that it happened with the first one, where it was good but not great. I wasn't really looking for the second one. I'm not really looking for the third, but maybe I'll catch it on like DVD or once it's out. But overall, I think it's still a decent enough movie to throw on if you have nothing to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And this is on HBO. If you have HBO, and again, if you're a Jurassic Park fan, check it out. Let us know what you thought.
Come back. Listen to this episode again, and then
stop, and then listen to it 2 more times, and then give us your feedback.
Stop, and then collaborate. No,
I was gonna say drop, open up shop.
That too.
Do all of those things.
You have a lot of options,
but make sure you come back and listen. As long as that's part of what your options are.
That's paramount.
Okay, so follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Only a Movies Pod.
Also, let us know what movies you want us to cover in the future by responding to our Instagram story questions or leaving a comment on any of our pages.
Join us next time for more things that happen only in movies.